Hello and welcome to Lemon Drops and Lap Dances. I'm your host, Lori, also known as Hypnotic. Everything I know about how to succeed in love, life, and business, I learned while working in a strip club. And on this show, I tell it all. Join me as we dip our toes into hustle and club culture and learn how to win at life while we're at it. Let's get started. Yo, hello. Welcome back to Lemon Drops and Lap Dances. I am your host, Lori, aka Hypnotic, and this is episode 4. You guys, this is episode 4. We are already halfway through season 1. How insanely cool is that? And it's kind of sad because we're halfway through the season. And there's only 4 more episodes to go. And then we take a little breaky break. And then we're back in the new year for season 2. Seasons, guys. I have seasons planned. Is that not the coolest? As always, always, thank you so much for rocking with me. I appreciate you, the love, the feedback. I'm here for it. I love it, and I love you. So, okay, how was your week? It's been a minute since last Friday, and I hope you lived to the fullest, or if you needed it, you got the rest your soul desired. I'm going to say, I believe that resting is good and that being active is good. Finding the balance between the two is even better. And I pray that you found your balance this week. Let's see. What did I do last weekend? Oh, yeah. On Saturday, my bestie and I, we did a true crime walking tour and learned about the history of the city when it comes to like crimes and mobsters and all that kind of stuff. And I was super surprised to find out how controlled by the city or by the mob this area was and how infiltrated it was with all kind of bad stuff, the city, because it's definitely not like that right now. There was this one guy that like ran the city for 34 years until he died. It was kind of crazy. It was a fun tour. And then let's see. On Sunday, what did I do on Sunday? I went to church. Church was good. And then, oh yeah, if you checked out my stories on IG at the Lori Renee, then you saw that I had a curling lesson. I did a curling lesson with this group of friends. So, real talk. Listen, curling, the Winter Olympic sport that we all kind of like watch it and laugh and make fun of a little bit. No. That stuff is harder than it looks. And I will never make fun of these people again. It is a skill to be able to glide across that ice with a 45-pound stone and aim it on the other side and make it get there without busting your butt or hurting yourself really badly. It takes some muscles. It takes a lot. And yeah. And I think I might have fractured my wrist in the process. I have a doctor's appointment this week to be sure. Actually, I have a doctor's appointment. I'm recording this, and I have a doctor's appointment the week that I'm recording this. And yeah, so it's crazy. But it was fun, and I had a blast. And don't laugh, but I was even thinking about joining the Winter League. I was thinking about joining the Winter League, guys. Please talk me out of it. I should not be curling. I should not be doing that. Although it might be my Winter Olympic sport. You never know. Black girl curling. Hey, we should make a hashtag. Black girl curling. No, but for real, I like to try new things. Trying new things makes life interesting. And I myself personally am a lifelong learner. So learning about and doing new things is my jam. Like for real. I also like meeting new people. I know, yes, I'm an introvert, but sometimes I can be extroverted. It's kind of crazy because at this duty station, this is probably the most outgoing I've been in years, like a very long time. I learned very early on in military spousedom, first out of country PCS. I didn't know anybody, but I learned very early that not everyone is for everyone. And I carry that with me because even though I'm still putting myself out there, especially right now, I know that not everyone will like me, and that's okay. And most of the time, it says more about them than it does me. So, yeah. Anyway, moving forward, this is probably going to be a really quick episode, and I'm going to put this out here. This is episode might not have much to do with the strip club this week. This is just something that's really going on personally that I'm wrestling with, and it's more personal. It's more, I don't even want to say it's an event, but it's just something that I'm dealing with, and I know that my friends are struggling with, and I just kind of wanted to make this show about something that we're dealing with, real life, real talk right now. So this episode is kind of like we are sitting here having a glass of wine and y'all are my girlfriends and boyfriends. Hey, and I just want to kind of have a conversation with you and kind of speak to you in a way that I would a good friend of mine if they asked me about something and people and genuinely speaking from my heart right now. So Strip Club Talk will resume in episode 5. Check that out next week. All right. So I'd like to start this episode with a quote I read from Danielle Kopka. So the quote goes like this: "You don't ever have to feel guilty about removing toxic people from your life. It doesn't matter whether that person is a relative, romantic interest, employer, childhood friend, or a new acquaintance. You don't have to make room for people who cause you pain or make you feel small. It's one thing if a person owns up to their behavior and makes an effort to change. But if a person disregards your feelings, ignores your boundaries, and continues to treat you in a harmful way, they need to go." That's just something that I've always felt, but I read this quote and I was just like, yep, using that this week. Because I don't know, maybe it's Mercury in retrograde or whatever's going on, but it's just something in the water that's people are being like super toxic right now. I don't know a better way to say that, but people are just being really ill, having ill will towards others. It's just not a really giving time, season, week. And maybe some people have been doing it for years. And just, I feel like this week and this moment, it's just been a culmination of all the things that have been going on where somebody's like mistreated you or didn't respect you or didn't respect boundaries and just you're done. And this show is your permission. This is giving you the permission. If you need it, you don't need it. You really don't need permission. But this is me telling you to remove those toxic people from your life because not everyone is for you. And you are not for everyone. And that is okay. That is the theme of this week. So literally, I chose this topic this week because I've been having lots of conversations. I've been having lots of conversations daily surrounding this topic. And I myself am personally having some interesting experiences with this topic in my own life as of late. So I have an example here. I am not mentioning names because I want to protect the guilty. I'm kidding. I just want to protect the innocent. But I just wanted to talk about this because we don't have to sit there and feel like we have to have people in our lives because just because you remove somebody in your life doesn't mean that you're not going to find somebody else that is more loving and caring and respectful of you and your boundaries and your feelings, and they treat you in a way that you deserve to be treated. Like they treat you like a human, and you make space for those kind of people to come in when you get rid of the people that don't serve you any longer. So for me, I am having a hard time because I really want to like go in, like for real go in, and I still want to be respectful. But I'm just like, this is me at the point where I just IDGAF. But I'm being cool, right? I'm like, I'm going to protect the innocent. I'm just going to talk about in general terms, I volunteer a lot with many different organizations. So I said, I've been having interesting experiences with this topic in my life as of late. And most noticeably with a couple of people here in this area within my volunteerism and other areas of life that remind me every time I see them, every time I see this person or these people, it reminds me that, say it with me, church, everyone is not for everyone, and that is okay. So, full disclosure, I have the gift of discernment. And what that means is I can tell if a person is good or not just by meeting them and simply like listening and having a conversation with them, or even not even having a conversation with them, just watching them and how they move and listening to the words that they're saying. And honestly, I'm batting 1,000 on being right about people. I have not been wrong yet. You can ask my husband and he will tell you this, that I am 100% on when it comes to these kind of things. It's like the sixth sense or something. I believe that God gave me this gift because he knew of the trials and traumas that I would face growing up and that he wanted to protect me. He wanted to give me something to protect me in some kind of small way. And honestly, I'm super grateful for this gift because it has helped me in more ways than one. And it has gotten me out of some crazy situations. And really, I probably wouldn't be here right now if it wasn't for the gift of discernment and knowing when people are bad and when situations are bad and getting the hell out of there. So, like I said, this is going to be one episode where I don't really talk about the strip club much. Let's call this our strip club interlude. We're kind of having a little bit of a break, but I am bringing the truth behind the title of this episode. So I told you I'd always give you the truth. I can always give it to you straight. And I'm doing that while still protecting the people that I'm probably going to be talking about right now. Ooh. I really guys, I'm having a hard time with this. So listen, while I know the gift of discernment isn't given to everyone, I do want you, listener, listening to me right now, to learn to be more aware of the conversations that the people are having around you. Be keen in your observation. Be sharp. It's a learned skill. Going to take lots of practice. And I want you to be prepared for whatever you hear because several things are going to happen. It's going to surprise you. It might delight you because they may be saying great things. There's going to be some disgust if it's bad. And more often than not, it's going to infuriate you, the things that you hear when you're really listening to the conversations going on around you. But what you do with this information is you take it and make smart choices about the people you decide to be in the room with. Did you hear me? Let me say that again. What you do with this information is you make smart choices about the people you decide to be in the room with. And I'm speaking this from experience, and I'll share why a little bit. So you guys might know my husband's in the military. He's been in the military for 22 years. That is a long time. And I've been in his life for about 96% of that time. Long time. So he was enlisted for 20 years, 20 of those years. And we had a great time. You know, we weren't in the room where it happened. It was kind of nice. And so I've learned we were having a great time. Okay. So let me back that up. Now he's an officer and we're still having a great time. He and I are having the time of our life. This has been fantastic. However, what I've learned and noticed is that the conversations from the rooms that we've been in have shifted in a way that I did not think they would. And I've been kind of taken aback by it. It's different. So, case in point, I am a board member of this club, and I'm the only Black woman, dare I say Black member of this club. And I see things a little differently than others, and that's okay. And if you've been following along, you know that I have social anxiety. I'm an introvert. I also have RBF. And those things create a perfect storm of making it hard for people to read me, engage if I'm an okay person or not. Just like I do with others, it's hard for people to read me. The thing is, I don't say much. I don't say much. And I generally let people think that I'm not an okay person. Because when people don't think that you're cool, you get the true person. When someone thinks that you're an inherently bad person or that you're stupid, people act more like themselves and they don't put on a facade, which is easy for me to be able to see who people truly are because they already think that I'm this person. Anyway, there's this woman on the board that I know. I know that this woman doesn't like the sight of me. She doesn't like it when I attend things. It's just something about me, my honesty, my intelligence, and dare I say my blackness that rubs her the wrong way. Y'all, I'm being really bold in my truth. And I know that people from this board listen to this podcast. And honestly, I just don't care because this is my truth. So here it is. Anyway, I've been nothing but kind to her. I smile, I speak, I'm cordial, and she rolls her eyes at me. There's been times when I'm speaking, she'll cut me off. Not at board meetings or anything like that, because they're pretty good about people having the floor and everything. I think that's pretty dope. But just in other things. And then she kind of challenges me and it's a one-upper kind of situation. And I'm just like, okay, sis, I don't know. I don't know, but okay, you do you, boo. Because it doesn't bother me the way she probably thinks it does, but it just shows me the level of maturity that she's at her older age, which is kind of sad. It's sad to me because, I don't know. Here I am, a Black woman in this space, and instead of trying to get to know me or, I don't know, just trying to get to know me and on a different kind of level, whereas you probably wouldn't get to know a Black woman this way, then instead of doing that, it's like this competition type deal. And I'm not into competing with old white women. I'm just not. All this to say is that in my everyday life, where I'm working, volunteering, momming, wifing, doing all the things, minding my business, there are still people out there who don't like me just because I am me. And the same applies to you. Whether you believe it or not, the same applies to you. There are people out there that don't like you and don't want you to succeed or be great just because you are you. My advice, be great anyway. Succeed anyway. Live to the fullest anyway, regardless of what anybody has to say about you. It's not their life. It's yours. Live it. Them not liking you, supporting you, respecting you is a them problem. There's something about you that triggers an insecurity in them that they will have to wrestle with. Seek counseling, do shadow work, pray, journal, meditate, etc. to figure it out for themselves. In the meantime, what can you do? Ignore them. All the negativity they bring, ignore it and keep being great. I can't say this enough to you and to myself, especially to myself these days, that you are not for everybody and everybody is not for you. And that's okay. Be great anyway. And with that, I'm ending this episode. And I just want you to know that I think you're amazing. Even if we've never met, I'm rooting for you. And I know that you're doing the best you can to get to where you want to be. And that's admirable. And I salute you and I support you. And that you're not alone on any journey that you're on. You're not alone. You got me. Hit me up. Facebook, Instagram. Hit me up. If you need somebody, reach out to me. I got you. I'm going to cheer you on regardless. And I mean it. 100%. Ask anybody I know. Ask anybody who knows me. And they'll tell you that I'm being 100 with you right now. No cap. I learned that from my son. No cap. Anyway, so this has been, oh my gosh, I made it longer than last week. Woo! All right. I'm not going to make it much longer than 22 to 25 minutes. I can't get to the 30-minute mark. But I want to thank you for listening. Thank you for coming back week after week. I appreciate it. I'm just in awe of the love that I've received. Pretty sure I'm going to get some stuff for this episode, but guess what? It's my episode. It's my podcast, and I can talk about what I want to talk about. So it is what it is. Again, I love you. hit me up on social media, follow me, give me feedback on this episode. And just know that you're not alone. You got somebody supporting you, and it's right here on this podcast. And this is Hypnotic, aka Lori, signing off. I'll see you next Friday. Hi, friends. I just want to thank you so much for listening. Please tune in every week on Friday to discover more tried and tested insider tips for getting better at life, love, and business. Until our next episode, you can connect with me on Instagram at Lemon Drops and Lap Dances. And please don't forget to leave a rating and subscribe to our show wherever you like to get your podcast. I'm going to see you next week. And this is Hypnotic saying goodbye for now.